Well, I think the main challenge that financial advisors face when they have clients that are transitioning is that the goalposts are shifting. And that means that the objectives shift, certainly the risks shift, and therefore the language has to change. In the accumulation phase, which is what many baby boomers have been in for the last 20 or 30 years, they have been adding money to their accounts, whether it's their 401k, 403b. That money grows over time. It's a bit bumpy. Markets go down as well as up, but that is an accumulation problem. And the objective is to accumulate as large a sum of money as possible without taking too much risk. Once those baby boomers, or anyone for that matter, gets towards the stage of retirement and starts to withdraw money, it becomes a very different and very challenging problem, because instead of adding money to their accounts, in some sense adding to the account value independently of markets, they're now withdrawing money from those accounts, pulling money out of the accounts, which means that when markets are down, they make it worse. And even when markets are up, the account is down. So it's a different challenge. And as a result of that, the objectives change, the risks change, the language changes, the conversation changes, and the products that they have to use change as well. I'll be talking about, and I am talking about, a book that I published 10 years ago to the date, called The 7 Most Important Equations for Retirement. And the objective of the book wasn't so much to teach math. I don't think advisors really want to learn the math. It was to point to the 7 people, the innovators, the giants in their fields, that help us deal with retirement income problems. The financial industry is very well aware of the heroes in the accumulation business, the people that set down the foundations of the theories and the practices that we use in accumulation. And my argument is, hey, there are a whole bunch of new people you have to learn about, you should learn about, that were involved in the decumulation business. And it's about introducing them, their innovations, and summarizing them with an equation. So really, the presentation is about these 7 people and what they contributed to retirement income hundreds of years ago, mind you, and what we can learn from that in today's practices. It's more history than it is mathematics. So, I'll give you one of the 7 individuals. This is a name that some people might be familiar with. Edmond Halley, sometimes pronounced Halley. People may have heard of Halley's Comet, the astronomer. He lived during the time of Isaac Newton. He was an astronomer in London, and his big claim to fame is that he discovered Halley's Comet, which we see every 75 or 80 years. But in addition to his work in astronomy, he was the first person ever to come up with the proper value, the price for an annuity. An annuity is an instrument that more and more advisors are learning about now, and they're thinking, hey, maybe I should talk to my clients about them. Who was the first person that sat down and said, hey, what's an annuity really worth? How much should I pay for one of these things? Is it worth it? It was Edmond Halley, somewhere around the 1690s, late 17th century. He had inherited some annuities from his father, and he was trying to figure out, what are these things worth? Nobody knew at the time. He figured it out, and he's one of the 7 people that I'll be talking about, and how annuities can be used during retirement. That's one example.